Hi, I'm Ollie, and in this video I'm going to show you why I am the ideal candidate to undertake work experience at Williams. I've closely followed Williams' progress since the 2020 Austrian Grand Prix, watching them go from backmarker to midfield challenger. I've also learnt about Williams and their role in introducing advanced technologies into Formula 1, such as the active suspension on the FW14B and the CVT that was used in testing on the FW15C. Speaking of cutting edge cars, meet Daisy. She's a rescue, a bit like my Labrador. Over the last 3 months, I've been restoring her with the aim of transforming her into a track car. All of my mechanical skills are completely self-taught, and all of the tools and equipment required have been bought using my Arkwright scholarship, but more on that later. My fascination with how things work began before I can remember. When I was 6, I visited the Titanic Museum in Southampton, sparking an obsession with boat construction. My dad was a huge inspiration to me, as he always thought outside the box. He died when I was 9, but I remember building a replica of Da Vinci's trebuchet with him. We loved looking through historical inventions together, marvelling at the courage of these original thinkers. Later, it became my ambition to innovate in motorsport. I was lucky enough to gain entry into the Carlin garage in the support paddock at the 2022 British Grand Prix, talking to the mechanics but also learning more about the car from former Williams driver Zach O'Sullivan. I was delighted to be awarded an Arkwright scholarship in 2023. During the selection process, I demonstrated my aptitude for innovation and creative problem solving, showing projects completed both in and outside of school. My desire for a sustainable future in motorsport led me to spend a week at Air Products in 2022, where I learned more about pros and cons of hydrogen power as an alternative to the internal combustion engine. I was enthused by the NEOM project in Saudi Arabia and shadowed a plant engineer in the hydrogen refueling station at Heathrow, learning more about the different compressors and performing leak checks. Last summer, I was the successful Arkwright scholar selected for an industry experience at WAE Fortescue. I was made responsible for calculating the heat rejection from the battery into the coolant at differing flow rates. My results were even included in a novel study for a battery which was pitched to a motorsport company. I was able to use my knowledge of CAD to augment the team's display of existing client cars. I loved the company's collaborative environment and have been invited back for an undergraduate placement year. I believe we cannot understand where we are going without knowing where we came from. I travelled to Monza this summer for the Grand Prix, and whilst I was there I took a detour to Como to learn more about Alessandro Volta. I was fascinated by the experiments he undertook in creating the first battery. I could relate these museum pieces to the work I undertook at WAE, where I made a database of bus bars used in Formula E batteries. The pouch cells, used to reduce weight, bear a strong resemblance to Volta's early wooden trough battery. Reading Adrian Newey's book, How to Build a Car, prompted me to teach myself Fusion 360 by replicating a 1991 Jordan F1 car. I took these skills into my A-level DT coursework, designing and building a wind tunnel to teach aerodynamic concepts to children in key stages 3 to 5, aimed at inspiring pupils to engage with the practical side of engineering. I've been offered a place to study aeronautical engineering at Southampton, where Adrian is an alumnus, following his advice on a podcast. My ambition is to work in Formula 1, but not just that. As F1 incorporates ever more electric technologies into its powertrains, I want to be at the forefront of developing these environmentally progressive techniques in this, the pinnacle of automotive design. I believe that the best engineers need resilience to turn failures into successes. I have demonstrated resilience throughout my life, passing the 11+ a year after my father died, receiving a late diagnosis of dyslexia, and even reapplying for this work experience after having narrowly missed out last year. With a refreshed driver lineup of Alex and Carlos and a young team principal who believes in a break everything ideal in order to rebuild this historic Formula 1 team, I firmly believe that Williams are the most exciting Formula 1 team to watch in the 2025 season. I am fascinated about how the difference between success and failure in motorsport can be the thousandths of a second, and how the team approach to enhancing performance is crucial. The ingenuity required to achieve this whilst phasing out fossil fuels excites me. It is my dream to work in Formula 1, which is the field where I'll be able to contribute my own ideas to this process, and I believe that Williams, with its family DNA and upwards trajectory, is the perfect place for me to jumpstart my Formula 1 career. Thank you for considering my application.